Hey guys, amidst all of the 4080 and 4090 fiasco and debunko, how about we take a look at something more sensible and more affordable for your gaming PC? So this is the ASUS RTX 3070 Noctua edition. I am sure you guys have seen this card before, but let's see how this card performs in the current climate 1 year since its launch. Alright, let's open this box. This comes with a very nice handle. Actually, it has been opened. Okay, so first off, we see the papers from ASUS, your Twigtown setup manual, and your thank you card. Something just fell. Yeah, so just put this one side. We don't exactly need these guys. Foam and just the card itself. Before that, what's inside here? I think there's supposed to be a bracket or stand to support this guy. I'll check it out, let you guys know. So nothing much, just a GPU. So this GPU is going out to a customer, that's why Typhoon Systems gave me the green light to look at this GPU. So you can see it's a very thick card. When it was first announced, everyone was like balking at the size of this card. Now that 4080 and 4090 has released, this GPU just doesn't seem that crazy after all. The heatsinks and the cooling radiators are actually not as thick as the 4090, even though this card is actually more than, I think almost 4 slots thick. So yeah, it features the brown aesthetic, the typical brown design color of Noctua. Two 120mm fans to cool 3070. It's supposedly going to be the most quietest, powerful and cooled GPU ever created from ASUS, even NVIDIA themselves. Not sure how quiet it will be because of these two big fans as compared to your other GPU fans. 2 HDMI and 3 DisplayPort ports. Performance and quiet mode. Comes on performance mode out of the box. So you can flip on quiet mode if you want to have a more quiet gaming set, but we're going to leave it at performance. So some specs of the card, of course PCIe 4.0, there are no PCIe 5.0 cards yet. 8 gigs of GDDR6, not the 6X version. Other specs can list down, you can take a look. It's, as with every 3070 card, it requires 2 PCIe power, 2 8 pins. No 3 pin yet, 3070, yeah. Pretty okay. Put this guy into a simple rig and let's see how it runs in some modern games. Okay, this is the test setup. Ryzen 7600X on an ASUS Strix X670E-F motherboard. A pair of 32GB Trident Z5 RGB with a 1TB SSD sitting inside the motherboard. And let's start off with AC Valhalla. You can see that AC Valhalla is a very GPU-bound game, which is not a bad thing, as the RTX 3070 is doing most of the heavy work. Final score an average of 116 FPS. You also see the same performance on 1440p. Not surprising here, as the game becomes more GPU bound at higher resolutions. AC Valhalla can be demanding for a mid-range GPU, so it's nice to see over 90 FPS on this resolution. Second game, Far Cry 6. This game is running at 1080p Ultra with DXR reflections and lighting turned on. You'll get a very comfortable over 120 FPS even with DXR lighting and reflections turned on. As this 3070 has no trouble running the game even with DXR on, I am going to leave DXR on at 1440p. You get close to 90 FPS on 1440p. As an added bonus, I also ran this game with FXR quality with DXR turned off. You will get an additional 20% performance uplift if you turn on DXR quality. So if you are running a GPU that's lower than RTX 3070, you can consider turning on FSR quality to get a similar performance. And let's close it out with the ray tracing monster, Cyberpunk 2077. And let's change it up. Let's go straight to 1440p, ray tracing ultra and DLSS quality. both the 7600X and the RTX 3070 are working really hard to deliver almost 50 FPS on this setting. The game is playable, but it's still far from the smooth 60 FPS. You'll get a better performance of 70 to 80 FPS if you turn off ray tracing. If you go down to 1080p with ray tracing on, you can see that the 7600X is working much harder than it was at 1440p, and you get slightly less FPS than at 1440p. I guess because at 1080p, the game is more CPU bound. So yes, the RTX 3070 Noctua is a very capable card which allows you to game well at 1440p. But does it live up to its title of being the coolest and quietest graphics cards of its class? Well, I say it runs pretty cool even 100% load on games such as Cyberpunk. You will get an average of 57 to 50 degrees on these 3 games. If the optimal usual gaming temperature for this GPU is 65 to 85 degrees, 57 to 50 degrees C is definitely a great temperature to be at. As for noise, not gonna lie, it is pretty silent. Even with these 2000 RPM fans. So, if you're unable or are not willing to spend your hard-earned money on an RTX 4000 GPU, you can consider this RTX 3070 Noctua. Not only will you get great performance on 1440p, it runs pretty cool, pretty quiet, and the power requirements are not as crazy compared to an RTX 4000 GPU. This is a quick look of the RTX 3070 Noctua, and if you want to know how a 3070 Ti compares to this GPU, you can watch the video below. Like if you like this video, and make sure to smash the subscribe button to not miss out on more awesome tech content. And with that, goodbye!